All right, so you're into this whole companion planting thing, right?
Want to go beyond just like the pretty pairings, you know?
Exactly. We're talking about making it really work, using science-backed strategies to turn your garden into, like, a superpowered ecosystem.
Let's dig into why some plants are total BFFs while others, well,
They're basically enemies, sworn enemies.
pretty much. Get ready to think differently about what you plant where. We're getting strategic today.
Because let's be honest, sometimes our gardens, they look more like a war zone than a Zen garden.
It's all about survival of the fittest down there.
So true.
Seriously, though, there's this whole competition going on beneath the soil, like a constant battle for resources. Most people don't even realize it's happening.
It's like a hidden world down there.
Totally. And just like us, plants have different needs, different appetites, you know?
Hmm.
Imagine this. You've got a shallow-rooted lettuce, right?
Okay, picture it.
And you plant it right next to a water-guzzling, I mean seriously thirsty, mint plant.
Oh no, that doesn't sound good.
It's like having a marathon runner at an all-you-can-eat buffet with someone who, well, can't resist a single thing. Someone's going to end up with, less than they need.
You're saying my mint could be stealing food from my poor lettuce.
It's a possibility. And it's not just about water either. Some plants, like anything in the cabbage family, they're heavy feeders.
They like their nitrogen.
Oh, they love it. Stick them next to a plant with lighter needs and boom, they'll hog all the nutrients. Leave those neighbors stunted and sad looking.
So it's like they're bullies, those cabbages.
Kinda, yeah. But hold on, it gets even more interesting. Plants have sneakier ways of interacting, too. Remember that whole allelopathy thing we talked about?
Oh yeah, that's the chemical warfare, right?
Exactly. Some plants release chemicals into the soil that can actually stop other plants from growing properly. It's wild.
It's like they're waging a silent war down there.
Right. Tomatoes and fennel are a perfect example.
Classic combo, but not in a good way.
Well, fennel releases these compounds that can totally mess with the tomato's growth. So at first glance, you'd think, keep them far apart.
Makes sense to me. Avoid the drama.
But here's the twist. While fennel might hinder the tomato, it attracts some beneficial insects, and those insects just happen to love munching on common tomato pests.
It's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Plant edition.
Exactly. Plants playing the long game, it's fascinating.
See, this is why I love this stuff. Okay, so I'll admit, I used to think companion planting was like a magic bullet. Plant the right things together, and poof, no more pests. Perfect harmony.
Yeah, I can see why you'd think that. It's a nice thought, right?
Right. But it's obviously way more complicated than that.
Way more. Nature's got layers, you know? What works like a charm one year might be a total flop the next. Weather changes, your soil does its thing, maybe new pests move in. Who knows? Always something.
So it's more like companion planting gives you an edge, not complete control.
100%. It's about working with nature's quirks, not trying to overrule them. Think of companion planting as just one tool in your gardening toolkit. You've still got to rotate your crops, make sure everyone's got enough water and nutrients.
And pay attention, right?
Yeah.
Actually be present in your garden.
Absolutely. It's about being a mindful gardener, not just a planter.
I like that. Mindful gardening. Okay, so speaking of being mindful, we got to talk about how our environment plays into all of this. What works for someone gardening in, like, a rainforest probably won't work in the desert, right?
No way. Climate is huge. Soil type, how much sun your garden gets, all these things factor into which companion planting strategies are going to work or totally backfire.
So location, 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 even in the garden.
Exactly. Take layered planting, for example, where you combine plants of different heights, some with deep roots, some with shallow roots. Fantastic for saving space. And in a humid climate, it helps conserve moisture.
Sounds smart.
But try that in a dry climate, and you're basically setting those plants up for a death match over whatever little water they can find.
Okay, so matching the technique to the environment is key. It's about knowing your space.
Exactly. Observe your garden, figure out its quirks, like maybe one corner gets more shade than another, or you've got a breezy spot. Use that knowledge to choose your plant pairings.
So to sum it all up, companion planting. It's more about science than magic, right?
Definitely. There's actual reasoning behind it.
It's about knowing how plants interact, good and bad, making sure everyone's needs are met, and being flexible.
Adapting to what your garden throws at you, yeah.
Because even in a small space, you can have a whole bunch of different microclimates going on.
Mini environments, all in one yard.
Exactly. So think about that when you're planting your next garden. Maybe one corner is perfect for a certain combo, while another spot needs a totally different approach.
It's all connected. Have fun with it.
That's the best part. All right. Happy gardening, everyone.